Do you know how it feels to get a new lease on life? On June 24th, 2022, a U.S. Supreme Court ruling in Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization did just that, giving our nation an extraordinary opportunity to return to its deeply rooted tradition of cherishing, defending, and nurturing innocent life at its earliest stages. I'm Denise Harley, Senior Counsel and Director of the Center for Life at Alliance Defending Freedom. My ADF colleagues and I were honored to work with Mississippi to help draft and defend its pro-life law all the way to the Supreme Court, where the justices struck down Roe v. Wade and Planned Parenthood v. Casey. That one decision puts an end to an abortion regime that has taken the lives of well over 60 million unborn children. This is a tremendous victory for unborn children and their mothers. After almost 50 years of waiting, states and communities now have an opportunity to affirm that life is a human right and ensure that women have real support, not the kind that pits them against their children to make a profit for abortion businesses. The court was right to overrule Roe and Casey. As the majority clearly held, nothing in the Constitution's text or structure or our nation's history supports a so-called right to abortion. In fact, even abortion supporters like the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg criticized Roe as a poorly reasoned, unnecessary, and heavy-handed judicial intervention that was difficult to justify and appears to have provoked, not resolved, conflict. Meanwhile, 5 decades of scientific advancement since Roe leave no doubt that states have a compelling interest in protecting unborn children at every stage of development. Mississippi's law, which the ruling in Dobbs upheld, protects a baby's life after 15 weeks gestation. At this point in development, we know that a baby has a heartbeat, can move around and kick, open and close her fingers. She can even hiccup. Emerging scientific evidence also suggests that she can feel pain at this point in her development. That's one of the reasons Mississippi adopted its law. The abortion procedure most frequently used after 15 weeks of pregnancy involves crushing the unborn baby and tearing her apart. It's barbaric to even imagine treating another human being like this, let alone the most vulnerable among us who should be safe and sound in her mother's womb. Laws like Mississippi's are also intended to protect women from some of the dangerous physical risks of abortion. Every abortion poses a danger to mothers. But in abortions performed after 15 weeks, women face a heightened risk of needing a hysterectomy, other reparative surgery, or a blood transfusion. According to the pro-abortion Guttmacher Institute, the risk of a mother dying from abortion rises exponentially by more than 2,000% between the 8th and 18th week of her pregnancy. And there are countless documented instances of abortionists causing major injuries and even death to women and failing to report it. That's why, under the radical regime Roe imposed, the United States was an extreme outlier when compared to other countries. 3/4 of all nations either don't allow elective abortions at all or limit them to at most 12 weeks, 3 weeks prior to Mississippi's law that successfully challenged Roe. Even after Roe has fallen, America remains one of just 8 countries, including China and North Korea, to allow abortion on demand 20 weeks into pregnancy. And we're still one of just 6 nations that allow abortion on demand through all 9 months of pregnancy. But today is a new day. Today, we live in a post-Roe world. Millions of Americans have been preparing for this day for nearly 50 years. We have marched, we have prayed, and we have served women at thousands of pregnancy centers throughout the country. In 1 year alone, over 2,700 pregnancy centers provided nearly 2 million people in the U.S. with free services like ultrasounds, material support, and other practical services like job training and parenting education both during and after a mother's pregnancy. That doesn't include the thousands of churches who have their own ministries to serve women and children and who foster and adopt children. Women don't need abortion to succeed in society, and the truth is, we never have. With Roe now behind us, local pregnancy centers, churches, community groups, and individuals are more empowered than ever to come alongside women facing unexpected pregnancies with the life-saving hope and help they need to welcome their children into the world. And with the court's decision in Dobbs, Americans can finally establish just laws that reflect those pro-life values. When Dobbs was decided, nearly 20 states were poised to protect life at the earliest stages of pregnancy. Even in those states, not to mention those with little or no protections like California, New York, and New Jersey, our work is just beginning. Let's do our part to make sure our state and local governments are protecting life at every stage of development. Let's advocate for laws that ensure fathers are financially responsible for their children, as well as those that streamline adoption and improve foster care. After all, we have a new lease on life. Let's make the most of it, because life is a human right. Find out what ADF is doing to protect life, along with free speech and religious freedom, at adflegal.org. You can find more videos like this at adflegal.org/freedom matters, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel on YouTube and click like before you go.